by 2030, the connections will start to be made between artificial intelligence and the human brain. We've been through a process of preparation, of getting people, first of all, stage one, addicted to technology that they hold, holdables, smartphones, tablets. That's basically achieved. You just have to walk through a city and you see the addiction. And they're targeting specifically the young. Why? Because the young of today and children of today are going to be the adults when they want to bring this AI connection in full blown. For that to happen, they have to get people addicted to technology to the point where they'll accept it and where it's the most natural thing in the world. And it's happening in front of our eyes. The first stage is to get people addicted to technology to the point where, at the most extreme, they'll get up in the dead of night and they'll queue, stand in line outside an Apple store to get the first of the new technology. And what they want eventually, and not too distant into the future, is people basically lining up to be connected to AI. In the same way that people in Sweden now are having parties to celebrate someone being microchipped, right? All this connects. So the next stage, because the idea is to get in the body, the next stage is to get on the body. So we went from just holdables, we went to wearables, we went to Bluetooth and Google Glass and Apple Watches and all these other gadgets that go on the body now. Even what they call electronic tattoos that are basically microchips on the skin. And the next stage is to go in the body, which is already starting in places like Sweden. And the idea is to take this on, and people like Ray Kurzweil, who is a Google executive. Google and Facebook are really at the cutting edge of this stuff. People think it's a social media operation only or a search engine only. No. This whole Google group now, which is given the name Alphabet, are absolutely at the cutting edge of this whole AI technology. So is Amazon. Amazon's got contracts worth hundreds of millions of dollars with the CIA and the Pentagon for cloud services and stuff.
Yeah, they have massive data services.
Massive, yeah.
The consumers don't see.
So the idea is to take this on, and what Kurzweil is saying, and he claims an 80% success rate in his predictions of incoming technology and when it will come in. But if you know when it's going to come in, then you've got a great chance of predicting it, haven't you? It's like if you know when a stock market's going to fall because the people you are connected to are going to make it fall, well, you're going to get out just before it falls, and you're going to get in just before you know they're going to push it up. You don't have to be, Nostradamus if you know the script.
But anyway, if this was his agenda, maybe he shouldn't tell us.
Yeah.
Or is it so clever that he's telling us?
No, this is why he's telling us. It's the sales pitch.
Okay.
The sales pitch, and this is why they're being...
We have the illusion of choice that we're going to be a part of it.
This is the sales pitch, and this is why they're telling you. The sales pitch is when we connect to artificial intelligence, we'll be superhuman. That's what the sales pitch is. That's his sales pitch.
Right.
That's
Siri, Alexa, all these things.
Yeah. Well, I'll come to them in a second. They're very, very interesting, very important.
Okay.
So what you've got is the idea that connect to AI and you'll become superhuman intelligent. No, you'll become subhuman intelligent. You'll become a vehicle for artificial intelligence. And whoever controls artificial intelligence will control the perceptions of every mind that it's connected to.
What did we think the year 2020 would look like 40 years ago? The future we dreamed of bears little resemblance to our present. We were supposed to have flying cars and robot maids. What happened? Have we failed? Or have we found something better? Artificial intelligence has fascinated us ever since scientists first taught computers how to solve simple problems. But ever since then, the promise of AI has been dampened by its limitations.
The field of artificial intelligence began in the 1950s, when computer scientists were thinking about how to use these new machines called computers to do things that we would consider intelligent, like playing chess or translating languages. What followed was the AI winter, when there was a great disillusionment with AI. There was a lot of excitement and enthusiasm about the possibilities for that in those days. People actually greatly overestimated how quickly progress would be made. Then in the early 2000s, we began the beginning of what is now machine learning, where there have been an amazingly rapid amount of progress and successes in the last few years. There is certainly a goal and a vision of having machines that can be perhaps someday as intelligent as people or even more intelligent.
30, 40 years ago, the people who actually programmed computers were computer scientists. And today you don't see them much around. They had white clothes and it was a clean room with big IBM's machines. And today you don't need that because somebody built the tools that allows everybody to do that.
For the last 60 years, people have predicted that human-level artificial intelligence would be about 20 years in the future. It's always 20 years from now whenever you ask the question.
Usually when you hear people speak about AI, the first thing that pops into their head is the Terminator and Skynet. The AI is coming to get you. We have no idea how to build a self-aware AI. So it's a bit overhyped that there's gonna be this self-aware sentient that is making decisions for you and taking over everything. We know how to build very simple machines that make simple decisions.
Today's AI is really machine learning. This is an approach where you gather lots and lots of data and you crush it together and you come out with pretty compelling outputs.
Machine learning is the branch of artificial intelligence that says, rather than trying to program very detailed rules for everything we want a program to do, let's create programs that can learn from their own experience. It certainly doesn't eliminate the need for humans to write the programs, but it greatly reduces the painstaking effort needed.
All these things that basically portray the world you want to take people into. Another part of this psychological connection with artificial intelligence, so we'll accept the outcome that I've talked about, is these Alexas and these Echoes and these so-called office assistants or personal assistants. Because people, I've met people who've got one in every room. And you start to interact with them as if they're human. And now they're bringing in internet-connected toys for kids, even little kids, and Barbie dolls that they can actually have conversations with artificial intelligence. They're now bringing in these robots that are these synthetic robots that are looking more and more like humans. A lot of them coming in from the East. And this is a whole psychological process of familiarizing us with artificial intelligence, to getting people to interact with it until it becomes the most natural thing in the world.
Well, is this a positive thing? What if it makes us live better lives? Could it be?
Well, if you want to use artificial intelligence to make things happen in a more efficient way, well, there's an argument for that. But that's not an argument for connecting AI to the human brain and the human perceptual processes, so that artificial intelligence becomes those processes. And I'm not just saying that. Ray Kurzweil says this: by 2030, the connections will start to be made between artificial intelligence and the human brain. And the human brain will be connected to what he calls the cloud. Another name for this is the smart grid. basically to artificial intelligence. And he says this too, because his sales pitch is it will be fantastic, it will be superhuman, that as time passes, artificial intelligence will be more and more of human thinking and human perception until basically it's the totality of human thinking and human perception, at which point we won't be human anymore in terms of the consciousness processes we are using today. We will be artificial intelligence. And this is the assimilation I'm talking about. And the point is, if you are connecting the human mind to a grid, a global technological grid, that grid can be centrally controlled. It will take at the center point very, very few people to run it, and even fewer to decide how it's run.